Hi, I'm Chad Kammin, and I've been on several of the Zoom meetings for Mother Miracle this past summer. I had the honor of being introduced to Mother Miracle School in 2013 when a friend of mine and I were traveling through India. And he's the one that found Mother Miracle online, wanted to go to Rishikesh. He's a yoga teacher, so just naturally wanted to go to where the birthplace of yoga was. And told me, he goes, yeah, I've talked to this woman at this one school, and I'm going to go see about, taking some pictures, volunteering to take some photos. And so I thought I'd just, hang along, and I did. And my very first day at school, Shala introduced me to this tall, skinny, quiet kid by the name of Vikrant Sharma. And he kind of just shadowed Ben and I as we were going through the school and taking pictures of the students and the teachers and the facilities. And the next morning when we came back, I asked Shala, I said, that tall, skinny kid, couldn't remember his name. I said, will he be around today? He seemed kind of interesting. And she kind of smiled and said, I hoped you would think that. And he was going off to his school, and later on in the day he showed up again. And then we talked a little bit more. And at the end of our second day, we were sitting out in the courtyard, and Shala was to my left. She just kind of leaned over and tugged on my shoulder, and she goes, do you know anybody in the United States that would sponsor Vikrant? Because he really wants to become a doctor and doesn't have a future here. And without thinking, I said, sure, I will. And took us 1 year, and by us, I mean primarily Shala. We had to get the birth certificate, we had to get an Indian visa, passport, and then a U.S. visa. And on August 19th, 2014, Shala and Vikrant showed up in Des Moines, Iowa. And on August 20th, not even 24 hours later, he was sitting at Roosevelt High School, which is one of the 5 high schools in Des Moines, Iowa. Graduated from there, and he went to Drake University, which is also in Des Moines, Iowa, and graduated from there in May of 2019. Took a year off, and now is down in New Orleans at Tulane. And as I'm recording this, the 3rd hurricane since he moved there a month ago is approaching. So we talked last night about just be careful. And having Vikrant in my life has been phenomenal. He's immediately became part of the family. As a psychologist, and I do teach college-level psychology, I've talked to a lot of my friends that are also in the same profession, and it's like, we're going to have to add another chapter in our psychology books when this pandemic is over. And I'm talking about that and relating it back to Mother Miracle because this pandemic is like crisis in slow motion, and we really don't have a good background on how to deal with it. And it's so hard to find joys in life. And I'm thinking, you want to bring a joy to your life, sponsor one of the kids. It's $50 a month. And I'm thinking about, even with restaurants closed, I still have figured out how to do takeout and, all of that. And you can find $50. And it will make a student's life better today. It will make their family's life better because they can, get the food, get the education, and then generationally, getting back to Vikrant, once he becomes a doctor, he can take either his skills back to India, or if he stays in America, he can take his finances back to India and elevate an entire area. And if you can do that with every student, every opportunity to make somebody's life better today, and that is a good anecdote to what's going on in the world of pandemic, because it's so hard to find joys, and to know that you're doing something truly wonderful for a group of kids. I would just encourage you, go to Mother Miracle website, sponsor 1, sponsor 5, and just do that to really bring joy and good to the world. So thank you very much.